Stana Myrtle. When we last left off, we had traveled to Katrina's castle and turned in the 5 rituals of the Dark One. Then she had taken us to the Dark One's cave and used the mouth ritual, which Magda correctly guessed she already had, because how else would she have gotten us out in the first place? She used the mouth ritual to open the mouth of Avuzul and let us in, and now we have been tasked to collect the 6th ritual and then perform them all to bring back Avuzul. Hopefully we'll think of something clever to bring him back in a way that stops him or prevents him from killing everyone in this valley. Literally everyone who has any concept of the Dark One has warned us that bringing him here, finishing the summoning, would be a terrible, terrible mistake. Even Baba Yaga, who likes the evil vibes of the valley, is like, yeah, no, that's too much even for me. So Katrina thinks it'd be great, and we would usher in everlasting darkness, and she'd never be helpless in her coffin again. I think she's being a little short-sighted to assume that Avuzul wouldn't kill the crap out of her, or in other ways make her life less comfortable than it currently is. But we already knew that she was fooling herself as to how wise her goals are. Hush you. We spoke to Magda, and she said that the last boyar, the very, very last one, was the high priest of the Dark One, and that he had remained in this cave for years and was probably not in human form anymore. There is a creature down here.
The Gruesome Creature is a cross between a squid, chocolate pudding, and your worst nightmares. It looks awake, alert, and as if it would enjoy having you for supper. A large book lies on the ground beside it. As awful as it now appears, something about the creature's shape suggests that it was once as human as you. Something truly terrible must have occurred to change it to its current shape.
So this is a very have no mouth and must scream moment. Can we talk to him?
It doesn't say much. No one seems to be listening. You see an old leather-bound book.
Well, we have magic, so we don't actually have to have skill.
The horror strikes out long before your spell can reach the book. You don't have a chance of taking it as long as the creature is alive, awake, and active.
Well then. Maybe he can go to sleep.
A gentle feeling of peace suffuses the cave. The horrible creature slowly relaxes and subsides into an uneasy sleep.
I guess I could kill him, but...
The beast looks as if it's not paying too much attention to you. It's very mellow right now.
I don't know if he wants that. And it seems cruel to just... I don't know. Your spell travels down to the cave floor and draws up a large, well-worn book. It seems to be a nobleman's diary. You pick up the book and read it. It is the diary of the last boyar. It seems the thing in the pit was the last Borgov. Being a servant of the Dark One didn't do much for his looks or disposition. On the last page is the thing you have been searching for, the Ritual of Essence. Now you have all the rituals, and the summoning of the Dark One can begin. The book crumbles into dust in your hands moments after you memorize the final ritual. Interesting. So we didn't actually get a ritual that we could hold in our hands and which someone could take from us. We got a ritual that that only we can use. It would be nice work if you could get it, but you don't know a flying spell. The best you can do is levitate, but that just takes you up and down, unless you can find a way to let the wind help you. Can we still use... I don't see why the wind would be going in the same direction, but... if we cast levitate... the heck? What are you doing? Why would we go down there? That's ridiculous. Is that... really? Is that how you're supposed to get across as a magic user? You're supposed to calm it and walk down there and hope he doesn't wake up and cast levitate again? That seems like a bad idea. Ah! We had to get so close to the terrifying icky thing. Okay, I'm gonna reload the game that I just saved and hope that that brings the voices back. I cannot believe that they didn't notice that the magic sound effect screws up the voices. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a DOSBox thing or configuration thing, but it worries me because you know there's going to be more casting to come.
You're in the heart of the cave. Stone valves close off passageways leading in all directions. In the center of the chamber is a bleak stone altar covered with dark stains.
So, one of these has movement. The fact that these are called sphincters and they look exactly like little cat anuses and it's throbbing.
This stone valve seals the passageway back into the chamber in which you first appeared in this cave.
So, I guess we need to go in there.
You are in a large cave, dimly lit by glowing lichen on the walls. Strange, irregular outcroppings of stone grow from the ground, looking like the skeleton of some enormous beast. Here and there, petrified human bodies seem to grow half in, half out of the floor and walls.
So this place is just as creepy as whenever we arrived here at the beginning of the game. Time has not sweetened it. There is an altar over here. And,
It looks pretty...
presumably we need to light the torches.
You light the torch in the sconce with the one you are carrying.
And I guess we need to give up...
Put the torch back in the sconce. The torch glows with a flickering light. You take the...
Not what I meant to do.
Put the... The altar feels strangely warm to your touch, but leaves a deeper chill somewhere within you.
So, I assume that this is the bone chamber. It looks pretty bone-like.
There are lines in the sand, as if it has been used in the past to form pictures. There is no apparent pattern to the lines at the moment. This torch is firm. The altar feels strangely...
What are we supposed to do then?
The ritual isn't designed to be used that way. You need to read it in the appropriate place at the correct time.
Maybe it's not bone. Crap, I had a list of the order that they were supposed to go in. And I don't...
That didn't do it. That didn't do it.
I don't have my list anymore, but I was sure this was the bone chamber.
There are lines in the sand, as if it has been used in the past to form pictures. You take the... The altar feels strangely warm. This is some kind of altar to the Dark One. The top is covered with sand. Torch holders flank the altar to provide light for nameless rites and unspeakable rituals.
Okay, bone is next, so I don't know
You put the...
what I'm doing wrong. This is very frustrating. I thought it was just a matter of... What am I doing wrong? Oh. Yeah, okay, totally intuitive that we would need to slap the Dark One sign into it.
You press the Dark One sign against the top of the altar. The sand swirls and shifts to form a mirror image of the sign. The Dark One sign dissolves into the sand, its purpose fulfilled at last.
Hope we didn't need that.
You unroll the scroll containing the bone ritual. The words are visible at last, and you begin to perform the ritual. Ya, Avuzal, Dark One, come! I stand among your massive bones. Let your skeleton once more be filled with your presence. The rocks of the cave creak and groan around you, as if forced to bear some massive weight. Ya, Avuzal, take shape once more in this place that is your home. Stand again among us. The bones near the altar start to sway and move, as if a massive wind was blowing change through the cavern. Ya, Avuzal, Dark One, come. As you complete the ritual, the scroll turns to dust in your hands. Suddenly you realize that the nearest bones have formed into a cage and are closing around you.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope. So I don't know if you remember, but way back in the, Adventurers Guild, there was a book we read called Creative Casting, and it suggested alternating fire and ice to make something brittle.
The bones momentarily glow red hot. Your spell has softened them a little. Your frostbite spell has frozen the bones, but they're still strong and solid. You reheat the brittle bones with your flame dart, softening them once more. That did it. The brittle bones cannot take any more of your onslaught of spells. They crack and fall to the ground.
I feel like It's a design flaw to have your rituals try to kill the person who's trying to release you, but when have Lovecraftian deities ever worried about efficiency?
The valve won't budge. If you had a bit more light, maybe you'll be able to see how to open it.
I doubt I can take the torch. Can I take the torch? It's in use.
You take the torch.
I guess we can keep it.
You force the sphincter open with your dagger and pass through.
Okay, now this...
A stone valve blocks this passageway to another part of the cave.
Now this sphincter is sphincting. Wow. What is this place?
You are in an eerie cave that appears to have been formed by red lava. It's a long way down to the pits between the narrow passageways.
That looks like a giant ant head that's been turned into Lovecraftian horror.
The rough stone altar is covered with dark stains as of blood long since dried to powder. Feel a creepy, uneasy sensation whenever you pass near it.
Yeah, you think? So I believe, given the drippy stalagmites, stalactites, and the color scheme and just everything else, this feels like a blood room. How do we... Okay, we can climb. Grand.
A bowl set beneath the altar is partly filled with the still viscous blood of many past victims. You can see black stains on the sides of the bowl, grim relics of the dark priests with bad aim.
Ew. Here we go. Wow, saving is taking like such a long time now. Don't crash.
You unroll the scroll containing the blood ritual. Words are visible at last, and you begin to perform the ritual. Ya, a woozle, bringer of blood, I bring fresh blood to fill your veins. Following the scroll's instructions, you prick your finger and let a few drops of blood drip into the altar bowl. They seem to sizzle and roil within the black bowl. Ya, a woozle, let this chamber fill with your fiery blood once more. Drops of thick acid liquid begin to form and drip from the altar into the bowl. Ya, a woozle, bringer of blood. The dark liquid oozes forth from openings throughout the chamber and begins to fill the channels below. The blood hisses and sizzles as it flows. The scroll falls from your hands into the altar bowl, where it is instantly consumed by the acid.
Jesus.
A thick, putrescent liquid now oozes and flows through the cave. It looks highly corrosive and in general like something you'd best avoid.
How are we doing on points? Perform bone ritual 6 points, escape bone cave 15. Perform bone blood ritual 6 points, escape blood cave 15. Noticing a pattern here. So How do we escape the blood cave? Can we get down the way we came? You pass under the hot shower of acid blood. You finally realize just how the Wicked Witch of the West felt in her last moments. These are yours. I don't understand, to be honest. There wasn't a waterfall. Why did it say there was? I don't know why it did that. How weird. Okay, that wasn't as hard as I feel like it maybe should have been. I remember that being harder back in the day. Maybe they changed it. And here's the next. I can't not giggle at those. They just don't look. Enter the cat anus. Alright, where is this?
The stone has been formed into a number of strange globes in this part of the cave. A stone image of a huge unearthly creature with tentacles has been carved out of the rock on the left side. The huge stone tentacle is hollow. It somehow reminds you of a mocking imitation of a musical instrument. It's another valve or sphincter, much like the one through which you entered.
Well, I don't know, but after bone and blood, I would expect lungs to be a thing, and this sort of looks like the globes kind of make me think of air trapped inside them and air inside lungs.
You unroll the scroll containing the breath ritual. The words are visible at last, and you begin to read the ritual. Ya, a woozle of the breath of night, I shall come to draw forth your breath in the song of shadows. On the most right horn shall I begin thy song. The shadows of darkness gather. Ya, a woozle, then shall I play on the leftmost of three. The wind shall come forth among the shadows. I shall bring breath again unto thy centre. The wind of darkness blows all before it. Ya, a woozle of the breath of night, I shall sound the final note on high. The shadows of darkness shall rise again. You sense an awakening and a waiting within the altar, as if it is alive and expecting something more.
Shadows of darkness, name drop. So it said right, then left, then middle. The question, of course, now is right per whose perspective. But I'm going to assume that they weren't trying to fake us out. So let's do this right one over here. I guessed wrongly. I really thought that they would, okay. Now we get to do it all over again. Yay. Yay.
Yeah, on the most right horn.
Alright, let's try this one then. They both ate us. Oh, it's not these tall ones up here. It's these little ones down here. how you were supposed to notice the teeny little ones that look like part of the structure as opposed to the big ones that genuinely look like something you blow
unroll
on.
the scroll.
Know.
Yeah, you.
So let's try this one down here.
You take a deep breath.
Then we'll try this one.
You take a deep breath, then blow hard into the hollow tentacle.
This feels so wrong.
You take a deep breath, then blow hard into the hollow tentacle. You unroll. Yeah. Yeah. You.
Well, that didn't seem to work, so let's try.
You take a.
Okay, so that's a you did bad.
You take it.
Oh, okay, I know we did wrong, but we're gonna do
Take it.
right, left, middle, and then the big middle one. This one's very trial and error, I feel.
You take it.
Either that or I just missed the obvious instructions and...
You take a deep breath.
There we go. It breathe. Look at it breathe. We need to leave now. And that might be kind of tricky. Because everything's all swooshy. Go.
Dust swirls.
Gosh, dang it, that's not fair. I waited until...
You're not strong enough to hold on to a tentacle against that force of wind. I'll have to find a different way out of here.
I specifically waited until it was calm. Calm didn't work. Let's try... Gosh dang it. Release, invisibility, aura, protection, glide, frost, lightning, juggling lights, reversal, fetch, force, levitate, dazzle, trigger, detect. Oh, open. That's silly. Whatever floats your boat, game. Whatever floats your boat. We use the open spell to open the lung sphincter. Lung sphincter. Okay. Come on. It's okay. I'm really nervous about how the saving takes so long now.
You feel totally numb. Can't see anything, feel anything, hear anything, taste anything, or even smell anything. Is this totally senseless?
We lost the language. Try it again. Try it again.
You feel totally numb. Can't see anything, feel anything, hear anything, taste anything, or even smell anything. Is this totally senseless? Wait. You just felt something, hard and round with some spiky bits sticking out. Your sense of touch has returned.
Yay. It's wild that walking around randomly in here is safe when it pretty much hasn't been up to this point.
Wow, did something just die in here? Your sense of smell has just returned with a vengeance. Kinda wish it hadn't. You hear a loud, almost explosive pounding and something like rushing water. After a moment you realize that you're hearing the sounds of your own heartbeat and of the blood pulsing through your veins. You stand still for a second until the sounds subside to a dull throb. You can hear again. Blinding glare assaults your vision and you nearly fall from the path. It's as if you're staring directly at the sun. After a bit you still see stars. Now at last you can see the cave you're in. Ahead of you lies the altar.
Well, this place is a place.
You don't know. A cluster of the spiky balls has formed into some sort of strange nerve or sense organ. The cluster blocks most of the path to the exit. You see a moss-covered cave. Slime drips out of the entrance. The rounded spur of rock reminds you of something. It's just on the tip of your tongue. No, of your nose. That's it.
Oh, okay, so these are nostrils. Okay, see, I would have thought that looked like a butt. And then, what's this supposed to be?
This looks a bit like a blacksmith's anvil.
Oh, hearing.
It looks like a stone sledgehammer. You don't... You are looking into a giant eye. The rough stone altar is covered with dark stains as of blood long since dried to powder. You feel a creepy, uneasy sensation whenever you pass near it.
Okay, so let's save again. I know it's slowing us down immensely. I'm sorry.
You don't notice anything special there?
So this is obviously the sense chamber because of senses.
You begin to read the sense ritual before the altar. Ya Avuzel! Dark calls unto darkness. Reach out thy tentacles to feel life again. Let the sense of this world permeate thy smell. Ya Avuzel! The sounds of our world are loud in thine ears to do with what thou will. Let the light and shadow of this world enter thy sight. Let thine own shadow of darkness cover the world without the need of light. Ya Avuzel! Dark calls unto darkness. As you complete the ritual, the scroll turns to dust in your hands. You hear a crackling noise and see flashes of lightning from the dendrites as the smell of ozone permeates the air.
Are we going to be able to leave without getting zapped? Let's try. This is like the Quest for Glory 2. Oh, there it is. This is like the Quest for Glory 2 room where I kept getting hit with lava. Oh, fuck off. Let's go use all of our healing potions.
That feels good. That feels good.
And while we're at it, let's eat a mana fruit too.
You feel a surge of power as the
Alrighty. Now where do we go? We've gone everywhere. And there's no more sphincters to wiggle.
The rough stone altar is covered with dark stains as of blood long since dried to powder. You feel a creepy, uneasy sensation whenever you pass near it.
So, if this is an altar...
You unroll the scroll containing the heart ritual. The words are visible at last, and you begin to perform the ritual. Ya, Avuzel, master of darkness, your servant stands now before your heart of darkness. Let your heart pulsate again with power and life. You feel a heavy throbbing sensation from your own heart, as if some force is trying to rip it free from your chest. Ya, Avuzel, let the heart of darkness force the black blood through your veins. The pressure on your chest relaxes as the stone heart begins to pulse and throb with unearthly energy. Ya, Avuzel, master of darkness. As you complete the ritual, the scroll turns to dust in your hands. The rumbling noise grows louder as a passage opening appears in the ceiling above the heart altar.
Here we go. Don't crash. Here we go.
Very good. You have succeeded where many have failed.
Thanks.
Begin the final ritual. Soon the darkness will return to this land, and I will never lie helpless in my coffin again. Summon Avuzel and free the shadows of darkness.
Enough talk. Let's get this over with.
I do believe you are jealous. Is that because this hero stopped you from summoning Iblis so long ago? You resent the fact that I triumphed while you failed, don't you?
I only wish to begin your moment of triumph, my dear Dark Master.
Very well. Let the final ritual begin.
You begin to recite the final ritual. Ya, Avuzel, we summon thee. Cold chill fills you, and you feel as if your blood was being sucked from your veins. Still you continue. O great Dark One, enter the world of light. You feel as if your feet were slowly and painfully dissolving into the floor as if by acid. Somehow you continue the essence ritual.
Ow.
O shadows of darkness, enter the land of the living. Your arms feel as if they were frozen, locked forever holding this paper. You continue to speak because you have no other choice. O master of the forever night, return to your own body and live again. Your head aches, and it's getting incredibly difficult to concentrate. You can barely intone the last words of the ritual. Ya, Avuzel, we summon thee.
Yes! Yes! The spell is completed, and Avuzel awakens. Darkness will fill the land, and we will never flee the sunshine again.
Ow.
No! How dare you!
Ah, you have just shattered the bonds which bound me. Now we shall see who is the true Dark Master.
Uh-oh. And we're stuck.
I am still a far greater master of magic than you. I am a far more powerful vampire than you. Do you really think your spells can harm me? Guess again.
But my dear Katrina, I do not need to cast spells at you to destroy you. I intend only to destroy my enemy, the one you seem so fond of. Care to watch him die?
No! I will not let him die!
Oh, shit.
The fool! I knew that Avuzal would be attracted by that spell. Now Katrina will have all the darkness she so desired, and much, much more. Ah, the first part of my vengeance is complete. Now I can enjoy fully watching you die slowly and painfully.
The tendrils you clutch so desperately are starting to slip through your numb fingers. You cannot hold on much longer. Still, there is a fire burning inside you as you realize that Katrina truly cared for you. You know that you must stop Adavis once more and forever, and prevent the Dark One from fully entering this world.
There's no place you can run to, and no place for you to hide. Soon there won't even be a place to stand upon. Getting worried, great hero?
Okay. Let's do some saving. Can we talk to Adavis?
With you and Katrina out of the way, no one can prevent me from taking over this land. I can easily turn any enemy into my own personal vampire slave, as Katrina did to me. I will soon have an army of powerful servants. I will be the most powerful creature in the world.
That seems bad.
I have waited a long time for the pleasure of destroying Katrina. She dared to think she could be my master. Ha!
She managed for like 50-something years.
The darkness will allow me to move freely, no longer bound to stay within travel time of my coffin. And what will happen to the foolish peasants in the village? Now that you have so conveniently removed the protection from the town by taking Irana's staff away, they will become my fodder. Irana was a fool. She thought she was going to prevent the Dark One from entering this world. Instead, she only destroyed herself.
So apparently, he kept firing while we were talking. Let me reload the game. Come on. Come on. Really? You're gonna force people to sit through this every time they have a... unkind. Let's try it again. Okay. It's unfair of him to keep casting while we were talking. Talking is supposed to be a free action. Alright, so... we have laugh at Adavis, beg for mercy, threaten, tell ultimate joke, make thief sign. Oh. I feel duty bound to show all of them.
What are you laughing about? Are you mad? What are you... It is such a pleasant sight to see you grovel. You do it so well.
You tell Adavis that you have contacted the Wizards Institute of Technocery, and every wizard who ever lived is waiting outside to destroy him.
I don't believe you.
Oh dear.
You inquired if Adavis would believe all the members of the Eternal Order of Fighters are coming to beat him to a pulp.
Of course not.
You ask if Adavis would believe that the Burgomeister is waiting outside with a warrant for his arrest.
Enough of this foolish waste of time. I'm going to destroy you for good this time.
You adopt the traditional thief sign position, wiggling the fingers of your right hand and rubbing your belly with your left hand. No one seems particularly impressed.
Okay, good. We can restart without having to sit through that nonsense. Alright. Hang on. Come on. Don't cry. Okay. Tell ultimate
You
joke.
tell the ultimate joke about the wizard and the farmer's daughter. That's a killer.
You think to delay your demise by telling stupid jokes? That wasn't even funny.
Despite his protestations, Adavis begins to laugh. In a few moments he's doubled over, still laughing uncontrollably. Now's your chance!
To do what is the question. Let's get our staff. Oh god, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid of messing up. It seems wrong to just fling a fireball at him. A fireball at him. I don't know what else to try. Okay. Fireball it was.
It's just... You're too busy.
Oh no.
You're too busy to come.
Oh god, I've run into this before. Okay. I think it's detail all the way down and then speed to maximum.
You have no... You tell...
You...
Despite... Adavis may be helpless at the moment, but that doesn't mean his protective spells aren't working. You'll need to find a more powerful attack to do him any serious damage.
There are advantages to being a vampire. Those puny, mundane weapons can do nothing to me.
Okay, hold on. I guess we do have to summon her staff. I wonder if we're gonna hit the bug. I have hit this bug in the past.
You tell... You... Despite...
Alright, staff.
Crystal is... You touch the staff of
There we go.
Irana to the crystal.
Don't crash.
You have freed me from my imprisonment by the Dark One. I have driven Avuzel back to its own dimension forever. Your magic is of great power to have overcome the evil which was in this place. It seems we shared a dream once. You gave me hope while I was trapped in the darkness. You held me in your arms and showed me your love. I cannot hold you now, nor can we kiss. I am only a spirit, a ghost. It will take more magic than I have ever known before we shall ever be together again. I can only thank you for everything you have done. I shall love you forever. Farewell.
No. No. Irana.
2 weeks pass from the final encounter in the Dark One's cave. Your friends and acquaintances in Moldavia hold a party in your honor at Castle Borgov.
So even as we speak, the swamp is drying up. Soon the pass will open, and we may trade with the outside world.
NAFTA, because we have to. We can finally sell our produce to others.
Yeah, we'll export garlic to all parts of the world. Everybody'll be stinky.
We can even import an elephant or two, just for old time's sake.
The king has sent word that I shall be the newly appointed boyar. Castle Borgov will again protect and guard Mordavia.
He could not have
There he is.
chosen
He's
a
alive.
worthier person for the role. And I mean that sincerely.
We have gathered here to thank this hero. He has driven away the shadows of darkness from this land. Mordavia will again be the peaceful, beautiful land of our forefathers.
The people fill the room with their cheers.
He returned Tanya to us. For that, we shall be forever grateful.
He proved that dreams can be real if you work to make them so.
He brought me back to my mommy and daddy, and you know what? They weren't even mad at me.
Everyone again gives a cheer of happiness.
Igor be in grave if not for hero friend. Instead of redhead, Igor be deadhead. Little graveyard humor there.
I would have been burned at the stake only because I am a gypsy, if this hero had not befriended me.
That's because some people whose names we won't mention, but you know who you are, spread nasty rumors that gypsies were werewolves. How foolish to believe such things.
Oh, God.
There are many here who owe their lives and happiness to this hero. In a land with a history of great heroes like Pyotr and Irana, he is one of the greatest.
Again, the hall is filled with cheers of excitement. You suddenly hear a familiar pair of voices.
There, that's it. I believe this crystal ball is finally working. Do you see anything, Fenris?
Yeah, I see him. He's with a bunch of people. It's either a reward ceremony or a lynch mob.
What? Let me see. Well, it's a reward ceremony, of course. He's probably done some great deed, as usual.
So now what?
Well, seeing that his adventure in Mordavia is obviously over, we bring him here to Silmaria, of course.
Suppose he doesn't want to come here.
Ah, you forget. He is a hero. Silmaria needs a hero right now. And everyone knows a hero has to go where a hero has to go.
Let's hope he knows that. Just make sure you use the right spell to teleport him. The last time you tried this, you brought the clothes and left the person behind.
This time, for sure.
And that is our hero. So real quick, before I forget, that magic user bug was the bane of my existence back in the day, because it meant the magic user couldn't finish the game. You'd try to summon the staff to touch the staff to the crystal, and it would say you can't cast a spell, you're busy casting a spell already. So online, looked this up. Before you levitate in the chamber, they said, but obviously we were already in the chamber, and we didn't levitate, we climbed. But we did this before we told Adavis the joke. Go into the control panel and set the detail bar to minimum. Some people also have to set the speed bar to maximum. So something was going on that the game was getting stuck thinking you were doing something when you weren't, and you'd just be stuck there forever. But we managed to get the ending. Why is our score 499 and not 500? That doesn't make sense. I mean, first of all, there isn't even a 1 point. There isn't anything you can do for 1 point. The lowest amount of points is 2. So unless I got points demerited for some reason. I'll do a quick Google on that. Must include 499. This doesn't make sense because there's nothing that gives you 1 point. It's not even like in Quest for Glory 1 where final score is Pure Wizard 499 out of 500. The game artificially limits your maximum score to 500. A Pure Wizard has access to 507 points. I guess the most likely explanation is you rescued the bonsai bush too soon and didn't get points for that. So, okay, apparently, this is so freaking silly. A Pure Wizard has access to 507 points. So, we're not 1 point too short, we're 2 points too short. I guess the most likely explanation is that you rescued the bonsai bush too soon and didn't get the 2 points for the riddle from the Lishi. That is exactly what happened. Thank you, Brainiac, on the AGD Interactive Forums. So that's silly. But fortunately, I don't care. So that is the end of the game for a magic user. If I hit this, are we going to lose?
If you have not already done
Okay.
so, we encourage you to play Shadows of Darkness again with the other character types. Many of the puzzles are different or have alternate solutions. In the meantime, you are already a winner. Please insert a writable disk in your floppy drive to save your winning hero for use in later Quest for Glory games.
We're winners. I can't make the sound go away. So I want to keep talking, but I don't want the music going. Whiz 4. Music.
The save character file has been created. Save this disk for use with later Quest for Glory games from Sierra Online. Thank you for playing Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness. And congratulations again on winning. We hope to see you again in a future Quest for Glory.
Thank you. And there's the credits. Okay, that got rid of the sound. Got rid of the sound. Now I can't remember what I was going to say. So obviously we saved Irana, but unfortunately we didn't, we weren't able to save her in a way that kept her alive. She was, I mean, to a certain extent, that's not really, or shouldn't be surprising. She died fighting a Vuzul years ago, decades ago. I'm still not clear. I need to get a timeline. A long time ago, she died. And so it makes sense, much as I dislike it. It makes sense that we wouldn't be able to save her in a way that keeps her alive or brings her back to life. Because she's been dead all this time. She's been trapped in limbo, yes, but essentially dead and unable to move on because her spirit was stuck. I do know that in the next game, Quest for Glory 5, you can meet with her and she's alive, or you bring her back to life. I'm not really sure of the details, but you can end up together with her. You can actually choose between her, Katrina, Elsa from Spielberg, or I can't remember her name, but the girl in the harem in Shapir who was so much fun and who helped you. They all helped you, but she helped the most. And one of the many reasons I've been avoiding Quest for Glory 5 and haven't played it is honestly because I can't even imagine choosing between any of them. I want to end up with all of them. They're all wonderful, wonderful women. And Irana especially is, it hurt. It hurt me the first time I finished this game and realized that we weren't going to get a happy ending with Irana, that she was going to stay dead. And I get why she stays dead. I understand it. It even thematically fits with, we've moved past the autumn and into the winter, and we've passed all this upheaval, and now it's time to move into a quiet time of reflection and grief. So much as I hate downer endings like that, it even makes sense to me that we can't save Irana, because it fits I think it fits the themes of the game. She's given peace. She's allowed to go to her final rest. She's been trapped here forever in this horrible, upheavally limbo. There was somehow both static and yet also painful and horrible and constant turmoil. And so she's moved on now, and now we get to go back to the village, and it gets blanketed in snow, and we cry and grieve and enter a period of mourning and hibernation to await the spring. So, which just is why I really hate the ending of Erasmus and Fenris teleporting you out. I get why they did that for the sequel, but it completely robs you of that sense of the hero needs time. He needs space to mourn. To just have the comic relief duo sweep in and zap him away to another adventure that almost kind of traumatized me on the hero's behalf, because it feels so wrong. Give him a few minutes, a couple of weeks, a couple of months to lay in the inn bed and cry about Irana and get over this, to keep teleporting him away from people and meaning that he never gets to experience grief, he never gets to experience celebration. It's just a constant cycle of struggle and then pop to the next area, struggle, pop to the next area. That, to me, is just incredibly unhealthy and wrong. I hate that ending so much, that Erasmus and Fenris do that. And also, we deserve time to mourn Katrina. I have a lot of issues with Katrina. I think she is a vulnerable person who became what she hated. Someone who was willing to selfishly destroy others in order to satisfy her own desires. Which is, I think, the thing that she hated with her own vampire master, but she became it despite her best attempts. So I have a lot of issues with Katrina, but that doesn't mean I don't mourn her loss. Was she a horrible, selfish person who used us and used others? Well, yes, demonstrably. Was she still a person? Did she have good traits? Was she genuinely in love with us? Yeah, seems like, so I can feel a lot of sadness over her death without necessarily having agreed with everything that she ever did, because I don't. So all that to say, it really upset me, the ending of Fenris and Erasmus zapping you away without giving you any chance to mourn or grieve or anything like that. But of course, the sequel must be prepared for, so off we go into the wild blue yonder, etc. But I do think that was a good ending to that game, in the sense of this valley has been in this state of limbo, much as Arana was in a state of limbo, and we kind of lanced the boil, so to speak, and let the hurt go, and restored everything back to peace and safety. And I think that's a good ending. I do. I love that game so much. And I love the themes. I love the aesthetic of the game that follows those themes. I love the way it handles the Lovecraftian nightmare elements, the undead elements, the autumn neatness of it, the look and feel of the forest and of the village, and just all of it. I love it so much, we're gonna do it again. Not obviously in this playthrough, we're already well over the hour mark, but when we do come back, hopefully tomorrow, what even are days? When we do come back, I want to start up with a paladin. The paladin path is a little bit different. We'll hit the same high notes as the magic user, obviously. I mean, it's still the same plot, but we get to learn a lot more about Dimitri, the Burgomeister, whom I love. We get to save the Ruzalka, which is very important to me, and we actually get a new character to interact with. And now that I've said that, I'm actually going to say that I lied. When we come back in the next one, I actually want to do a thief video as an intermission, because there is also a new character in the thief playthrough that I want you to meet. We will not do a full thief playthrough from beginning to end, because I don't think it's different enough to warrant a full, 16 videos or whatever. But I do want you to meet the character that we only get to meet on the thief playthrough. Then we'll come back as the paladin. And then the other thing I want to do with the paladin is play with the tarot readings by not collecting rituals until the Geas by Katrina. And we'll see if those are any longer, because that would be cool. So, once again, this has been Quest for Glory 4. My name is Anna Mardell. I will see you in the next video. in the meantime, while I'm recording more playthroughs, by all means, check out the backlog of the playlists. If you come this far and this deep on this one, you probably have already watched the backlogs. There's writing on my website, which is linked in the comments. I write a lot about themes in literature, much like as I keep hammering on about the themes in this one. But yeah, I'd love to see you around on, on my website and stuff like that. Come by, leave a comment if you want. I will talk to you in the next Let's Play, which hopefully will go up tomorrow morning, since I do have some time with these staggered out. And have a good one. Bye-bye.